Hello, my name is Marie Sardano. I'm the Director of the Florida Operations and Cross-Border Financial Planner at Keats Conley. Are you considering making a move from Canada to the U.S.? Well, this is an opportunity for you to have a turnkey operation right from the onset with Keats Conley. First thing you need to be considering, of course, is if you are able to get an immigration visa, whichever way possible. And sometimes it is simply by getting someone to sponsor you here if you happen to have a relative, being a mom and dad, or a child that is a U.S. citizen that might be able to sponsor you, or simply doing a application for a visa through your business, if that's the case. So the initial meeting has to be with an immigration attorney to be determining exactly what kind of visa you will be able to get and how you are able to move to the U.S. The other popular visa right now is the EB-5 visa, that you're able to invest $500,000 in a regional center. And of course, you don't have to manage any of it. And through that, it would take probably a couple of years, probably 16 to 18 months to get your approval. And then you're able to get a green card and then eventually move permanently to the U.S. So all that is done through immigration attorneys and through regional centers, EB-5 attorneys or investment management companies. We have to recommend several that you're able to do your due diligence and make sure that they are absolutely safe to invest in. Beware, because there are several out there that are deemed to be fraudulent, so you would not want to be associated with these corporations, these businesses. So you've decided to move to the U.S. and wondering where to start. What happens? Well, the first thing you need to do, of course, is if you're hiring Keats Conley, we would have to get a full picture of what your current assets are. So we're looking at all your investment assets, RSPs, businesses, real estate, anything you own. We have to know where your name is on all your properties and assets in Canada. From there, we're able to determine what would be the impact, the tax impact, before you leave Canada. And of course, you do have the Canada-U.S. tax treaty that is favoring the cross-border lifestyle from leaving from Canada and moving to the U.S. You have a lot of benefits to gain from the tax treaty that is in favor of Canadians moving to the U.S. or vice versa. So once we have determined that you do have a situation and an opportunity for you to move to the U.S., then we will work with you on all the planning aspect. Before you move, after you move, what would be the impact? Keats Conley can offer you services also from the tax point of view. We would have Canadian tax returns can be filed at Keats Conley. We have a large department of Canadian and U.S. taxes. And we also have a department of investments that can accommodate you. As you know, if you own any assets in Canada, such as any portfolios that are not considered RSPs or registered plans, you do not have the privilege to have a self-managed portfolio in Canada unless you're dealing with a corporation or an institution or a bank that has licenses on both sides of the border. So that sometimes restricts your accessibility, and you just have to make sure that the company or the institution that you're working with does have access to both sides of the border. Keats Conley has an office out of Calgary, and they're in a position to offer you that service to be able to give you investment management from both sides of the border. So now that you have determined, that we all determined that you're able to make the move and that you will be residing in the U.S., one major aspect of to be considered is the health insurance. So what is available for you as far as health insurance? Because health services here, as we know, are extremely expensive. So you cannot afford not to have insurance. Absolutely, you need to buy insurance on this side. We can recommend the proper way to do it. Keats Conley does not sell any products, so we have to work with brokers. And there are several out there that will do offer you the proper plan to cover you. So you get health insurance individually, and then you also have access to Medicare depending on the age. And after you've been in the country for 5 years, you are able to access Medicare. There's ways, again, to set it up that you're able to access that. Now, if you happen to be married to an American citizen, the beauty of it is that as a resident married to an American citizen, you have access to the Medicare plan if you are 65 and up, and also you have access to Social Security. So you would have a right to 50% of what your spouse would be entitled to receive at 65, and or 66, depending on the age of the individual, for fully insured. And that would be even without working a day in your life in the U.S. So that is a big advantage. Now, another big advantage for people leaving Canada, especially if you're in the high income earners, you would have a privilege to have the old age security pension that is currently being clawed back. If you have a certain income, especially over 100,000, you would have full clawback on your Social Security. Well, if you leave Canada and you move to the U.S., then you get your full Social Security benefit paid to you here, your Canadian Social Security benefit paid to you, and the same thing with CPP or QPP, and only 85% of those benefits would be taxable here in the U.S. So the same thing as like if you any American resident that receives Social Security, only 85% of the benefit is taxable in the U.S. So that is a big plus for several people. And basically, if you're looking at having to spend some money on buying health insurance here to cover your services, then you would have at least almost $15,000 coming from your old age security pension from Canada to offset a little bit of the cost of what health insurance would be in the U.S. So basically, we are a turnkey service for our clients, and you can hire our service on need basis, and we would give you a proposal based on what you currently need, and it would be for the number of months or years that you would need our services. We are not selling any products, so you would be able to just use all our services from investments to taxes or planning on a fee basis. So Keats Conley has currently 5 books on the market, and our first book was The Border Guide, which we are currently in our 11th edition. And this, I encourage everyone to get this book simply because it has it's a wealth of information for people who are considering moving from Canada to the U.S. or vice versa. And it's a go-to book many times. And if you need more information aside from this book, you are welcome to get in touch with me, Marie Sardano, at Keats Conley. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.